Thank you for joining Member Solutions Live webcast. Today you'll learn how to uncover the hidden profit center inside your business. Our presenter today is Eric Charles Russell. Eric has been in the martial arts and fitness industry for more than 25 years and is the owner of Premier Martial Arts and Fitness in Watertown, New York. In 2015, he published a book based on his successes called The Art of Selling Memberships. The book became an international bestseller, hitting #1 in 3 categories in the US, Australia, and Germany on Amazon.com. Eric is a well-respected and sought-after industry consultant who in the past year has helped his clients grow their businesses by 6 and 7 figures. Today, he'll share how to create a new recurring revenue stream for your business. Through this model, you'll learn to generate higher income from fewer members while reducing your administration costs. If you have any questions for Eric during the call, you can type them in the questions box on the control panel on your screen. They'll be answered at the conclusion of the call. We'll attempt to answer as many questions as we can, but we also want to be considerate of your time. Eric, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for that introduction. I appreciate it. Let's see here. I'm getting all these things showing up. The little pop-up windows just started happening. All right, let's see here. Show my cursor. Sorry, bear with me just for a second here. All right, let's see. Hey, what's up, everybody? Just in case you didn't think we were live, we are live. I appreciate everybody for being here. Thanks, Member Solutions, for having me. I'm excited about this webinar. I get this information that I'm going to present today, I get asked a lot. How do I make more money? What do I charge? How do I set this stuff up? What are some extra ways that we can increase our revenue? So I get asked this stuff a lot. I'm excited to present the info, and I hope that you're excited to listen to it. Now, I have to figure out how to share my screen. So I'm going to do that right now. We're going to get this thing rocking around. I think I just clicked this little button right here, and that's going to allow me to share my screen. Hold on, bear with me for 1 second. Presenter. Got it right here. And we're going to get rid of my webcam. Get rid of that. Okay. Now, can I just get a confirmation from you, Jen, that you can see my screen? Okay. We're all good?
You're good to go. Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, good deal. So, yes, uncovering the hidden profit center in your business. Today, I always like to do my workshops with a promise. You're spending time with me today. I want you to get something out of this, and I want to make sure that we're clear on exactly what I'm going to share with you today and what we're going to teach today. First thing is getting consistent monthly revenue. That's important to all of us that are in this membership-based business model. We're going to talk about how to create higher income from fewer members, getting paid the right price. What is the right price? We're going to talk about that. And I'm also going to show you why you shouldn't be afraid to charge too much. All right, we're going to cover all of this stuff today. Now, if you stay until the end, you're going to get a copy of all of the slides from this webinar. So in case you want to refer back to it, or do you want to maybe train your staff using the slides, you'll get all of the slides from the webinar. If you stick around to the end, I'll share a link with you. And during the webinar, it's really important that you pay full attention. Take notes, turn off your mobile phones, turn off Facebook. I know that's extremely difficult for some of us. close out some of those tabs you got open. If you're anything like me, I have like multiple tabs open at once. Although I saw my dad uh, the other day, I was helping him with something, and I saw his computer, and he's like, "It's running so slow." He had like 90 tabs open. I'm like, "What do you have all these open?" He never closes them. So close out all the tabs, close out anything that's going to make your computer run slow, basically, and focus on the webinar. Who am I? Well, Jen kind of gave you a little bit of that info. I've been in the business 29 years. I've worked at martial arts schools. I've worked at fitness centers. I've been everything from the salesperson to an owner. I've mopped mats, but I've built and sold from the ground up. So, and I've done that as an owner for the past 12 years. What I'm going to be sharing with you today is stuff that has worked in that time and stuff that's working now. A couple interesting facts about me. I know Jen mentioned my book. It's always good to mention the book, right? You're learning from the guy who wrote the book kind of thing. I wrote a bestseller, but you know what? I failed English twice in high school, which is one of the reasons why I put off writing the book for so long, because I'm like, I don't know anything about the English language. I failed it. As you probably will be able to tell through this webinar that my English is a little rough, even though I was born here, raised here, and I don't have the proper English. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because I still got a #1 bestseller. So Mrs. Burdick and Mrs. Bliss, those were the two teachers that failed me. I hope I did you right. I hope I made you proud after all. I wasn't just sleeping in your class or skipping. Now, when I first started my very first school, I was actually driving a cab, and you might have saw the cab topper behind me when I was sharing my webcam. I still have the top of my cab. I kept it as a reminder to myself to always stay humble and remember where you came from. But yeah, I was driving a cab when I started my first school. And I was fighting professionally too. And I say not so professionally because, you know, back then it was like the rules were whatever the promoter made up, and you showed up, you drove 5 hours to get like $100. It was crazy. It's still kind of crazy now anyway. I grew up really poor, and I've been earning my own income since I was 11 years old. So the reason that I tell you that is not to you know, make you, it's not to brag. It's just to give you an idea for where I come from and what I'm about, and that I'm somebody who is just a normal guy who really just worked really hard and learned some things along the way and applied those things, not just to my business, but now I get a chance to work with other membership organizations all over the world. And some of the people that I've worked with, some of the people that you might be familiar with, because our, you know, especially in the martial arts circles, because it's such a small world. One of my clients, I want to present just some proof, because Jen mentioned that I've been able to help businesses grow 6 and 7 figures. Well, here's a couple of those. Derek Hofrichter is in Tempe, Arizona. He started using this process, and what I'm going to share with you, some of what I'm going to share with you, and he was the first client that I ever had that got to 7 figures in over and above what he was doing when he first started using this process. Mike Wickware, he has a jiu-jitsu school out in Woodward, Oklahoma. He's a 6-figure guy, you know, within the first 3 months of training with me, and I'm talking business training. He was able to double his revenue, and he actually helped his wife Shannon there open up a yoga studio. Another client, 6-figure client, he was working Border Patrol in Texas, and he was able to quit that job and still double his income. He did that in 90 days of implementing some of this stuff. So just to give you an idea, what I'm going to share with you is stuff that is working, okay? Now, I got to let you know, give you the disclaimer that the results are not typical. And there's a reason why they're not typical, because not everybody who tunes into these webinars and does these workshops is going to get the same results as I have, as Derek has, Mike, some of my other clients have. But I'm going to explain to you how to make that different, and how to make sure that you do put yourself in the best position to get those results. Like I said a couple times already, I'm going to share with you the actual stuff for free that's working for me and for my clients. I'm not going to give you experimental stuff like, okay, try this out, see if it works. I'm going to share with you the stuff that has been applied and proven. You don't even have time for all the stuff that I've tried and failed at, which is good. Why, you want to know that stuff that works. Okay? It's been a long 29 years to get to this point, right? So I'm only going to share with you the stuff that works. But here's the reason why results aren't typical. The reason is because we get on these webinars, we listen to the information, and then we don't take action. We don't change anything. We don't improve anything. We go back to our same old habits and same old routines. And one of the reasons why that happens is because life gets, as soon as this webinar is done, you've got to go right back to your business. You've got to do some things. You've got to make some things happen. You got so-and-so wants to quit. You got this fire to put out. Then you may have to deal with some work with some clients. You may have to teach some classes. And life just starts to happen. And we forget about taking action because we weren't super motivated to do that. Now, the only way that you're going to take action on any of this stuff is when you are motivated to do it. Either the information blew you away, or you have a goal of really increasing the revenue at your business. So I want to just share with you like a little simple trick that I use to get myself motivated to take action on things. And a lot of us already kind of know this a little bit, and it's called visualization, where we see the goal, where we see what we want to have happen before it's already happened. Right? Conor McGregor's in the news right now, big all over the place, right? He's like the poster boy for visualization. He's been saying he's going to do everything that he's doing since he's been like 19. Okay? It's the same idea. That is going to get us motivated to take action and put us in that boat where we get the similar results. So I always like to do that when I need to take action on something, is I visualize what it's going to be like. So imagine for a second.
Excuse me, Eric?
Yeah.
Hi, we have one person on the call who's indicating that they can't hear, so I would just like a confirmation from anyone else that they can hear.
I can't see if they can hear or not.
Yeah, no, I'm watching. If anyone could please go ahead and chat into the chat box and let us know that you can hear everything okay. Oh, thank you so much. Yep, it looks like there's one person that is having a hard time hearing. If you're not hearing, well, I guess you won't hear what I'm saying, but we will have a recording of this on file, and I'll make sure that we get it out to that person, Eric. But go ahead, continue. Sorry to interrupt.
You know what you can also do is put in the chat that we'll hook them up with a recording as well. I'm
yep,
not sure
will
why
do.
They can't. I'm not sure why they can't hear.
Okay, great. It looks like he's hearing everything okay now. Perfect. Thanks so much, Eric. Sorry to interrupt.
All right, good deal, no problem. I was just getting warmed up. Don't worry about it. Now I'm all off track, and it's I'm just kidding. Um, I'm used to people telling me they can't hear. I have 2 teenage daughters, right? They never can hear what I'm saying. All right, back on track. Here we go. So we've got to imagine kind of the results, right? We've got to look and see what would it be like if I had a consistent monthly revenue that was generating higher income from fewer students, right? Where we don't have to worry about the ups and downs of that revenue, what I call the revenue roller coaster, where when it's busy, everything's awesome. When it's summertime, you know what happens in summertime, a lot of times you see that dip in the revenue happen. Okay, people are outside for whatever, you know, there's all kinds of excuses you hear about in different seasons. But that revenue roller coaster is something we want to never have to worry about. So what would it be like if we didn't? What would it be like if we were able to maximize our profitability and ensure our success because we're getting the right prices, because we're charging what we're worth in our marketplace? So will that make a difference for your business? Will that make a difference in your life? And that's what we want to look at when we're getting ourselves motivated to take action on this stuff, because that's the key. Being motivated and taking action on it. So here's what I'm going to cover. Number one, why lower prices don't lead to more members. This is something that almost instantly, when I work one-on-one with a client, every single client has to raise their prices. I've never seen a client who's hired me that didn't need to raise their prices. And we're going to talk about the lower price mentality a little bit, because it's smart business in certain areas. But when it comes to what we do, membership-wise, it's not going to help you get more members. How to raise your prices without getting your current members all tweaked out and mad at you and leaving your school. And we're also going to cover how to create a profit center out of transaction fees and billing services, because this is a service that you pay for. I don't care who you use for billing and who you use for merchant processing. You are paying for it. And I'm going to show you how to make money on that investment so that you're not just eating the cost. Okay? So we're going to go through that today as well. All right. So why lower prices do not lead to more members. Let's jump in and get rocking and rolling on this. Like I said, having the lowest tuition in town does not grow your memberships. Now, a lot of membership businesses do think that lower prices increase enrollment, but actually, lower prices are creating a lower perceived value. Okay? We're not selling widgets. We're not selling cars. We're selling a service that helps somebody get a result. It's a high value thing. And if you are or if you're trying to be the lowest price in town, you automatically are now coming through as the only thing that matters about your business is price. And everybody's the same. And if you can legitimately look yourself in the mirror and say you're the same as everybody else in your town, you're going to have a rough time being successful in this business. You're going to have a rough time growing it. You're going to have a rough time maximizing. Here's why. Most of your prospects, they're not price conscious. They're value conscious. And what I mean by that is they're not looking to spend money. They didn't call you up because they have $100 extra a month left over. They didn't call you up because they just got their income tax refund. they're calling you, they're reaching out to you because they have an issue, they have a problem, and they need help. That is where the value comes in. That is where what I call them value conscious. They're looking to get a result, whether it's lose weight, get in shape, learn self-defense, have their kid get focused, have their kid be more disciplined, or them be more disciplined. Okay, they're looking for a result. They're looking for to satisfy a specific need. And we need to make sure that we are communicating that value. Okay, it's important that we get this because the low price model is dependent on a high volume and a high turnover. Right? We all have the big box gyms in our neighborhoods. They're not results driven. They could care less if their members show up and actually lose weight. It's ridiculous, some of the stuff they do at these places. They don't care. They don't care about them. Okay? There's a certain type of consumer that's going to go there, the one that's going to act like they're doing something and they're not. And who knows, maybe, eventually they come and see you because they realize that it didn't work, and they just, even though it cost them basically nothing, they just wasted all that money and all that time when they could have been getting results. But you need a high volume to make that work. And the problem is, like I said, it's high turnover as well. Because when people aren't getting results, they leave. They're done. The other thing is, it's way more expensive to market and to maintain that high volume of leads and members that you need. Right? Because at the lower price point, we're making less per member, so we need more members, which means we need to spend more marketing, and we need to be, better at closing those leads too. But the bottom line is we need a higher volume in there. So the irony of this whole thing is being the cheapest in town is actually expensive to do. And what you provide people, what you do for people, here's the thing that is why I'm so passionate about our business and what we do in getting people results. I'm passionate about it because you literally have the ability to improve people's lives. Now, I'm just assuming that your program is solid. Okay? Because, that's a key component, obviously. But most of the people that I work with, and most of the people that are on these workshops, these online workshops that I do, they have a solid program. They're just trying to figure out ways to make it work out there, competing against some of these big box gyms and some of these other things that are going on. Okay? But the key is we can have an impact on their lives where they're not just losing 10, 15 pounds. Their kid isn't just focused. They don't just know how to defend themselves anymore. But that 10 to 15 pounds that they lost helped their confidence, which improved their job performance, which helped them in their relationships. I know it sounds hokey, but it's the reality of it. It's the truth, right? That focus that you helped that kid with led to better grades in school, led to that kid having more confidence to accomplish other things in his or her life. Okay, big deal stuff. So we shouldn't be charging, we shouldn't be the cheapest in town. What we should do is we should charge what we're worth. We should be the premium place. And we should sell our value accordingly. All right, that's an important concept to understand. Important to really realize what you do for people. They're results-based. They're value conscious. Okay, and that's why we want to make sure that we are getting the right price. Now, for those of you who need to raise your prices, all right, which is going to be most everybody, we got to do this without upsetting our current members, right? We don't want to, you know, raise our prices and then have everybody leave. Okay, and this is the biggest fear. Well, there's two main fears with this. One is you raise your prices, current members leave. The other is you raise your prices and nobody buys. You know, your closing percentage goes down. Okay, neither one of those things happen when you follow what I'm going to share with you. Number one, you don't have to raise prices for your current members. You can keep them at where they're at, and you're only going to be raising the prices for the new incoming members. Okay, that's number one. Especially if you're not sure, okay, you know, I don't really want to raise prices on people who have been with me for years or whatever. It's fine, but you know, your new members coming in, you set a new pricing schedule for your memberships. Okay. The other thing is you can also allow your current members to extend their memberships on the current pricing. Okay, so let's say they have 6 months or 3 months in, I don't know, whatever the time frame might be on their agreement with you, on their membership with you, and in 3 months you want to let them know, hey, new pricing goes into effect, but if you renew now for another 12 months, you get to stay at the same pricing, our old pricing. It's another way to kind of extend a membership. The other thing is, when you do the increase, you can add it to the initial payment. So let's say, I'll just use a random number. Let's say that you raise your membership to $10 a month. You can take that's $120 over 12 months, and you add that on for their initial payment. So you keep them at whatever monthly installment that they're used to making, but their initial payment is going to go up. So that first payment to renew is going to be whatever amount plus 120 bucks. So let's say it was $150. Now it's going to be $270 from their initial payment in order to keep their monthlies the same. And you can explain that to your members as well. In order to keep your membership, your monthly membership the same, we just need an initial payment of 270 bucks, and then it'll be $100 a month from here on out. Or what you could do is you could do the same initial payment that you did the last time, which was $150, and then your monthly installment will be $110 per month. Some people will just give you the $270, some will go for the $110. Okay, so just another strategy to be able to raise that price and get a higher membership amount each and every month, and not have it be an issue with your current members. Okay, I hope I'm not going too fast. And then, like Jen said, we'll answer some questions at the end. But this is an important one too. How to create a profit center out of our transaction fees and billing services. There's a way that we want to do this. And here's the thing. This is all about getting a return on your investment. Everything that you spend money on should have a return on it, right? When you invest in marketing, you need new members. When you pay to have somebody process your payments, that's an investment. It's money going out. Okay? A lot of membership businesses, they just think, well, I'm just going to write that off as a cost of doing business. I'm going to show you right now how we can make that into a profit center. And I'm going to tell you a quick story about how this came about. I'm a client of Member Solutions, and I have been since 2009. Now, when I started, I was not a member, but it started to become a little bit of a hassle for me to manage and maintain almost 1,000 memberships for my small little schools to just manage it. I mean, I was missing like revenue just because of expired credit cards. It was just crazy. So I was looking around, and I was looking for a service to take care of it. It wasn't just transaction fees, okay? I needed somebody to manage it. So I hired Member Solutions after a pretty exhaustive search, and it was more. I mean, it only makes sense, right? It's more than just your normal transaction fee because you have real people actually managing those billing accounts. And I said, you know, what the heck's wrong with me? Why am I paying this out of my pocket? And the reason was I was a little nervous that my price, it would affect my pricing, and I would lose members because of it, or I wouldn't be able to sign them up. And I said, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. I've got to make money on this. I got to start thinking more like a business when it comes to this kind of stuff. And this is what I did. I took the cost of that service charge, and not only did I pass it on to the monthly payments, but I actually added a percentage to it to make money on it. Okay? So Member Solutions was charging me a certain percentage. I think at the time I just doubled it, what I charged members to do monthly installments. Okay? And I'm going to explain how to present this, because the presentation of it is the key to getting it. If you don't present it properly, you're going to have an issue with this. Okay? You do not want to add it into the price of your membership, that processing, what we call service charge. You don't want to add that into your membership. You want to keep it separate. Okay? It's going to make it a lot easier to get this. And so when you present that service charge, they're saying yes, no problem. Okay? So here's how it works. Let's say your membership is $1,678 a year. I know it's kind of a random number, but let's say that's what it is. Okay? Your initial installment is $149 to get started. Okay? Now keep in mind too, I'm saying initial installment on that membership, initial installment on that tuition. I'm not saying that's your sign-up fee. I'm not saying that's your startup fee, enrollment fee. All of those things are problem words. All of those things tell your prospect that you're charging them, you're penalizing them. Here's our sign-up fee. Well, how about I don't sign up and then we don't have a fee, and then you end up negotiating the fee and you end up not getting it from the get-go, or you end up doing some kind of deal where you waive it. Okay? You want to charge an initial installment on their membership package. Okay? Because that's just an initial payment on that whole $1,678. Okay? That's an important point to get with this. Then it's going to be 11 monthly payments of $139. Okay, so again, I'm just breaking down each step for them. No rocket science here. But before I present that service charge, I want to find out if 139 is affordable for them. If 139 is affordable for them, if 139 fits in their budget. Okay? So I ask them flat out, is that affordable? Is that manageable? Does that fit in your budget? All of those things, doesn't matter really how you word it, but does that work for you? Yes, I can handle 139. If 139 doesn't work, then the service charge is a moot point. Okay? So does it work? Yes, it does. Okay, great. Now, let me just get, I got the script in here, so let me just put this up. And I always put that 9.8% service charge on the bottom there. Okay? But the first part is I've got to make sure that the monthly is affordable for them. Okay? So here's the script just written out so you can see it. I'm kind of doing the notes for you. The total cost is $168, and we allow you to make it in monthly installments. In other words, you're telling them your program is $1,678, but we allow you to pay for everything in monthly installments. Your first one is $149. That's your initial payment, and then it'll make your monthly installments $139. Okay? Like I said, is that manageable for you? Is that affordable? Yes, it is. Okay, great. Now, part two is, okay, great. Now for the monthly installment service that we offer, there's a service charge of 9.8%. Okay, that amounts to $13.62. So that makes your total monthly payment $152.62. That's still manageable for you, right? Now, very, very few people who say yes to 139, 149, whatever it is, will say no to a couple extra dollars at the end in terms of it being in their budget. I already got them to say yes, it's manageable, yes, it's affordable. Now, in order to do it in monthly installments, we have a service that we offer for that, which costs $13.62 a month. Okay, so now all they're saying yes to at this point is the $13.62 because they already said yes to the $139. Okay, that is key. That is super important. Okay, and that's how we want to present the pricing of it. Now, nobody charges 9.8% for processing and even with Member Solutions full service billing, having people manage that for you, real live people, you're not paying that. Remember what I said. I want to make money on it. So I look at the cost of that service, then I add some money to it. So now, net, I'm making more per member for each payment that I'm running. Okay, so take a look at this for a second. You charge $100. I'm just because it's easy math for me. You charge $100. You don't put $100 in your bank account. You have to pay for processing some way, shape, or form. And let's say it's 2.5%. You get a decent rate. Okay? And I know some of us are paying 3 and maybe some of us are paying 2, but let's just say 2.5 so I can do easy math here. And you get the idea of what I'm getting at. That means that $2.50 out of that 100 goes to my processing company. And they put in $97.50 into my bank account, even though I'm charging $100 for it. Okay? So I'm not really getting that $100. But now when we actually add a service charge to it, now that 100, 9.8% becomes 109.80. Okay? And then whatever percentage it is, let's just say, I don't know. I wish I knew my exact rate right now. I probably should have. I should check that. But let's just say it's 4.5%, just for the sake of discussion. You take that 109.80, and that means you're paying $4.94 to process it. Okay? So you're net putting $105 in your tuition or in your bank account, charging $100 for tuition. Okay? Now you're more profitable, and by the way, if you do end up using Member Solutions, you're not handling the freaking customer service on it. So you're not even doing that work. Okay? So that's how I want to set that up, but the presentation is everything. And you should be charging a service charge for allowing people to pay it in the monthly installments. The other thing that this will help you do is it'll help you get more paid in fulls. We're not really going to cover that today. I know we're running out of time a little bit, and I want to get to any questions and answer any questions that are coming through. But this will also help you with your paid in fulls, because you can offer a discount. You can get rid of the monthly service charge if they pay in full. And you want to be in that range where about 20 to 30% of the people who sign up will go with a paid in full option. That way you're still having a nice recurring revenue that's going on, and you're getting that cash flow of some of those paid in fulls every once in a while. Okay? So, what did we cover? I got this backwards. Don't worry about it. We're going to go backwards. How to create a profit center out of those transaction fees and billing services. You're paying for them. You want to offer that service charge. You want to make sure you're presenting it as a separate thing. So your tuition is still XYZ amount. It's still $139, but you're collecting $152, $153, whatever it might be. Your membership's still $100, but you're collecting $109. Okay? So that's important when it comes to making this work. And by the way, when I switched and did that, I was nervous about it at first. Nobody had an issue with the service charge. Okay? Same thing with the clients that I work with. They all get nervous about it until they start collecting it, and then they're like, dang it, man, I was leaving so much money on the table. Okay? Very important. How to raise your prices, we talked about that. We add it to the initial payment. We allow members to extend their agreements. We only increase our membership rates to the new people coming in. Okay? And the most important one, being the lowest price in town isn't getting you any more members. So don't be. Get paid what you're worth. Get paid for the service that you provide your community and the value that you bring to people's lives by helping them get in shape, lose weight, feel better about themselves, helping their kids in school, helping them have more confidence. Get paid for it. Be the premium. Okay? Next level. We got some next level stuff. Who wants to take it to the next level, I guess, is the question. I was going to say who's having fun, but let's go with who wants to take it to the next level here. If you want to really maximize your profitability and you really want to take this to the next level, type "I'm ready" in the Q&A box. And I'm going to take a drink of my water while we do that. All right, real quick, before we get to the questions, I want to talk to you. I've been talking about the member services managed billing. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to sign up for it today. I mean, look, this is a decision. I understand because I did it. Right? It's not something that you decide over a webinar. Okay. The idea here today was to help you get more money out of what you're doing right now, how to maximize what you're doing, how to increase your revenue at your businesses. But I do want to offer something for you to help take you to that next level. And what we put together is, now that we've done some general info for you, Member Solutions has agreed to work with everybody one-on-one, where you literally get to have a one-on-one consultation with a professional billing expert, where they can address specifically what your business needs and some membership options to help you maximize your profit. Okay, this is a $149 value, by the way. They'll also help you develop a billing strategy and/or go over some of the stuff that we talked about today if you need some extra help with that. Okay, but it's one-on-one, so it's going to be dealing specifically with your business. Okay, the other thing is we've put together a little bit of a bonus package. If you book your consultation today, there's going to be some bonus stuff that we're going to throw in here. The first bonus is a book called Systems for Success: How to Attract, Retain, and Engage Loyal Members. That's a $50 value. You're going to get that. It's free. Okay, everything I'm telling you right now is free. It's $50 value. That's bonus number one. So you're getting the one-on-one consultation, the System for Success book. Total value is $199. Bonus number two, $100. What they're going to do with that is they're going to credit that to your account when you, if you decide to open an account with them. Okay? Guess what the value is of that? It's $100. Right? So you're getting the one-on-one consultation completely free of charge. Success Systems book free of charge. The $100 credit to your account free of charge. All you have to do is book an appointment for a one-on-one consultation. It's almost a $300 value, and there's going to be one more thing that you get with this, because they're going to talk to you about how to get some new members, some strategies with the ebook. They're going to talk to you about how to maximize your billing and your profit, and some success strategies for pricing. They're even going to credit your account $100. So basically, like giving you money. But the one missing thing is sales training. We didn't really cover too much sales training, although we talked about the presentation part, which is the sales thing. Bonus number three is you're going to get 30 days access to the Membership Sales Academy. This is my online training that I provide for $197 a month, and it has over 80 videos. It has quizzes, certificates, achievement badges. It's literally a step-by-step process to take a prospect from being interested to being a member. Okay, you get that as well. So you're getting the one-on-one consultation, Systems for Success book, the $100 credit, and then 30 days of the Membership Sales Academy training. It's almost a $500 value, and all you have to do is book your one-on-one consultation and let Member Solutions help you with some strategies to grow your business. There's no purchase required, no purchase necessary. I know some of you follow my webinars, and at the end I'm always selling something, right? And listen, I used to never sell anything at the end of my webinars, and I'd get complaints over that. People wanted to continue. They wanted to. I got more questions about things that they could buy from me, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to start offering stuff. Well, here's an offer that is literally something you cannot refuse because it's all free. So book your consultation right now. There's the link for it. And Jen, if you could maybe put the link in the chat while we answer questions too, that'd be great, because then people can just click it, I think. I don't know.
Absolutely, I'll do that.
Yeah, somehow make it so it's clickable for people. But it's a pretty easy address to type in. All right, so book your appointment with your professional billing expert, and let them help you with some one-on-one stuff. All right, what do you got for questions, Jen? Or did I just was I just so thorough that there's just no questions?
We actually have a handful of questions, and I want to make sure that we end at least reasonably on time, because I know everyone's pretty busy. There seems to be at least a few regarding the service fee. So we have a question from Derek, who asked around when you were presenting the service fee slide, why not charge $154 and avoid the whole service fee conversation? Now, Derek, if I misread your question, please feel free to rephrase it.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Okay.
And there is a specific reason for it. And the reason being is it's when you look at the difference between 139 and 154, it's a psychology of pricing. Now, once I get them to agree to that 139, that extra 14 bucks is nothing. And I still am able to keep my pricing at the 139 for my monthly membership. Okay? It's just the psychology of pricing. That's all it is. And adding it to your tuition or your membership only makes that number look a lot bigger. Whereas if I can get them to agree to the main chunk and then just add the service charge, and I have an explanation for why I'm adding it, they're more apt to agree with it, and they're less resistant to the pricing when you do it that way. Okay? It's psychology, that's why. Okay, and this has been tested not just in membership organizations, but the psychology of pricing has been tested, and then the explanation has been tested on how you present it. When you tell somebody because of this, it's wild how you get less resistance for it. They actually did a study real quick. They actually did an experiment, not a study. And I forget who did it, man. I wish I could remember it. But basically, there was like a line to get into to make copies, and it was like this long line. And people, that were running the experiment would go up and they'd say, hey, can I get ahead of you? People would be like, no, what the heck you talking about? Go wait in line, man. And then when they added a because statement, people just said yes. In the because statement, they would literally go up and say, hey, can I get in front of you because I need to make copies? And people would say yes, even though it didn't really change anything. All right, it's the psychology. And maybe it's because, you know, as you ask parents, they always tell you because I said so. I don't know. I guess I don't know the actual you know, the neurons that it fires off in your brain, that why it works, but that's how you want to do it, and that's why it's set up that way, and why I have you do it that way. What else you got, Jen?
All right, great answer. We have another question from Derek regarding the price including the service fee. What if they say, no, it's not manageable?
Okay, good question. This answer is a little bit outside the scope of this workshop, but let me give you an answer for that anyway, because it's important to, when somebody says no, let's just say 150 isn't manageable. Okay, we're talking. You say, hey, it's going to be 150 per month. That's not that doesn't work in my budget. Okay, there's a few ways that we can handle it. One of the easiest ways is to ask them first and foremost what they expected to pay. Okay, what was your expectation? Like, what were you planning on? Like, what fit within your budget? And what happens a lot of times is people will give you a number that's like $30 to $50 different. And now I can sell on that $30 to $50 because I'm not selling on that whole number. A lot of times what we try to do is we try to justify the 150. And it's going to be way more difficult to justify 150 than it is to justify $30 or $50. Because even on the high end, $50 is $12.50 a week. That's like one less trip to Starbucks a week. That's one less eating out lunch for the week. I mean, that's the $12.50. They probably have that in their change of their cup holder in their car. Or in their couch, I don't know. Maybe not. But bottom line is it's not a lot of money. $12.50, right? However, if you try to sell in that whole number, 150, it's a little bit more of a challenge. Okay? So if whatever number you present to them is, they tell you it isn't manageable, then we want, or isn't affordable, or doesn't fit in their budget, then we want to ask them what they expected to pay. What is manageable? What is affordable? And then go from there. Now, keep in mind too what I said originally. We're not selling something that they don't need. If you've determined that they need your service, and the difference between them getting it and not getting it is $12 a week, you need to do everything in your power to make sure that they get your membership before they leave. Okay? You do not want them leaving your facility when they came in there for self-defense or confidence and find out something happened later on when you could have just put a little extra energy and effort into presenting it at that $12 a week or whatever it might be. But you'll find when you ask that question, and this is all over the world. This isn't like in Oklahoma or Texas. This is everywhere. Australia, Canada, every place that I do business, it's always like 30 to 50 bucks. Okay? So we want to, because they have an expectation to pay something. They didn't come into your facility and think it was going to be free. So they had an expectation to pay. What works for them? And then work out the difference. Okay? And if you get my book, I'm going to do a little plug. See, Jen, I got to sell something. If you get my book, there's strategies in the back of it that will help you deal with that as well. Okay? All right. Sorry, I sold something. Now book your appointment. Let's do that too. All right. What else you got for me, Jen? We got time for a couple more. I know we're a little bit over, but we started a little bit late too. So let's see if we can do a couple more.
Yeah, I think we can do a couple more. I actually have a really in-depth question from Nick that I want to make sure we address for everyone. So he is asking, do you charge an installment fee plus of the first month membership, or does the installment fee include their first month? Also, if you add gloves and the uniform, does that seem like a ton of money for someone to pay up front? How do we add the gear in the price?
Okay, those are really good questions. So the answer to the first part, the initial payment, it can include that first month. It's up to you. I've seen it done both ways, where your initial installment is $149, and then your monthly starts next week, and it's 12 installments. My personal preference is to make that installment include the first month, and then they do it 11 installments from there out, because then it's 30 days before they have another installment due. So that's how I do it. And I'm saying $149. I don't charge $149. I think you should be charging more. And it does have a little bit to do with your area, but I just use that for the example. And it depends on the services that you offer too. But yeah, so you want to include that in your first month, but I have seen it done the other way as well. It's just one more thing you have to explain to people if you're doing it that way. If you want to make it super simple, you include it in there. You make sure you're getting enough for your initial installment that's going to cover the first month and make it a little bit extra. Okay? Where do I get my initial installment? I do $295 and $195 to get started. Okay, that's what I do. I have some clients that charge over $300 for their initial installment. I don't have any issues getting it, because it all comes down to presentation and how you do it. Okay? So it does have a little bit to do with your area. It does have, but that's how you want to do it. Okay? The question about gear. I always recommend some type of an equipment package. It doesn't matter whether you're doing martial arts or fitness. You want to offer them a package to purchase as well as that membership. It is not included in the membership. Okay? So it's a separate thing. And each membership should have its own unique package. It can be, you can get as creative as you want. It's easy if you're teaching martial arts, because it's like, hand wraps, gloves, mouthpiece, shin guard. You got all kinds of different equipment. You have to get a little more creative if you're just offering a workout program. Okay, but yes, you should always have an equipment package. Yes, it's always a separate price. Now, occasionally you may want to do some kind of promotion where they get something free, like a pair of gloves or a backpack or, whatever it might be. Or a uniform. you use that for an incentive to get them to come in and to sign up. So you do that occasionally. Does that add more money to what they have to pay? Yes, it does. Okay, but here's the bottom line. The mentality that we have sometimes when we're selling is that we're charging a lot of money and nobody has it. Or what we do is expensive. If you're hearing that, chances are your sales process needs some major improvement. Because you're presenting what you have to offer in a way that people think you're charging too much. And so what happens is we start to get a little bit gun shy about it. When I opened my first school and I was driving a cab, I couldn't even afford my own memberships if I had to buy one. But I knew the value of what I brought to the table. I knew what we offered people was 10 times what we charged for it. That's the mindset that you want to have when you go into it. If you're charging $150 and that person's, you can help them, we're going to just lose weight, they're going to lose 20, 30 pounds. If you had a pill that you could give them and they lost 20 to 30 pounds, they'd give you $2,000 for it right now if it was guaranteed to work. Because they want the result, and you can provide that result, okay? You have a very, very valuable service. I don't care what you're charging. You're not charging enough. No matter what it is, because you're improving people's lives. I mean, look, you got motivational gurus out there charging thousands of dollars for something that you charge a couple $100 a month for. Okay? And that's really what you're doing. You're helping people improve their lives in a major and massive way. You're adding a massive amount of value to their life, and you're asking for a small amount of value in return. Okay? So that's important. And you want to make sure you're presenting so that they get that it's high value and it's not expensive. Okay? Very, very important that we understand that. And I don't know an activity that people do where there isn't equipment involved that they got to buy. I mean, I signed my daughter up for lacrosse years ago. It was like $40 to sign up. It was nothing. Okay, this year we're spending thousands on equipment because now she's on a different level. She's at 10th. What grade is my kid in? Holy cow, 11th grade. Wow. 11th grade. She's got to have better sticks, better shoes, better gear. She's going to camps. She's, I mean, just the camps alone are in the thousands of dollars. There's always equipment that comes along with it. Now, it doesn't have to be absolute, you can't have a membership if you don't get this equipment. But you'll see when you present it, a lot of people will take advantage of it. And you present it in a way where it's like a package deal, and for signing up today, you get all of this at this price, $99 for everything, okay, as far as equipment. So it's a separate fee. It's something that you want to have for each membership, and you got to get your mind right when it comes to presenting the price. That's my answer to that.
I think we have just a short amount of time to answer one more question, and that's from Alec. How do you explain to current members that they will now have to pay the service charge?
That's the same thing, man. Some you are going to not charge them a service charge. Okay? Anything that you have, the other thing you got to understand too is anything you have in place for current members, if you have an agreement, you can't change it anyway. At least not without them signing another agreement and agreeing to it. Okay? Now, when it comes time to re-up or to renew, you explain it the exact same way that I explained it. The only difference would be, now in the past, we've done monthly installments, and the cost of those monthly installments we have paid for. But in order to keep our prices wherever they are, in order to keep our tuition, or in order for our tuition to be $150 or our membership to be $160, whatever it is, we have to add a service charge for our monthly installments. And that service charge is XYZ. Okay? Now, current members, you will have some that will have an issue with that. And what I did was I just didn't charge them, even on renewals. It was very few people, but you know, and I transitioned to over almost 1,000 members when I did it, so it was a lot of work. Actually, a lot of work for Member Solutions, I should say. I gave them this; they had to transition people over, but we did have to meet with some that didn't want to do the service charge, which is fine. I'm paying it now anyway. You know, if it's gonna, I'm not gonna lose a member over it. Put it that way. Okay. You don't want to lose a member over it. You present it to them. If they have any issue with it, you hook them up. And then everybody from then on out is on that program. I generally don't like to mess with memberships, especially if they're already signed, they're already a done deal. I don't want them to come in the middle of it and say, hey, we made this decision. I like to just kind of talk to them on the renewal. All right. So if I didn't get to your question, you can email info@membersolutions.com. The email's right there. I will answer you. How about that? So Jen can just forward me all those questions that I didn't get to. I know there's probably a couple of them, but we're running out of time, and I want to make sure that you do get your questions answered. Okay? So go ahead and email info@membersolutions.com, and I will answer every single one of them that I didn't get to if there's any. And last but not least, book your appointment and get a one-on-one with a professional that is going to help you with your business specifically, and get all those bonuses. Okay, some of the stuff that I talked to you about today at the end with the questions, you're going to learn that in the Membership Sales Academy. You're going to get a 30-day access to it for free. Jump on in there. Book your appointment. Get rocking and rolling. All right. Jen, thanks a lot. I appreciate you having me. It was a lot of fun. I hope everybody got a lot out of it. And yeah, I hope you guys got a lot out of it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Thank you, Eric. It's always a joy to have you here at Member Solutions. That was a fantastic presentation. I always really enjoy listening to you. I'd also like to thank everyone for sticking in there and for joining us today. I know we're a little bit over, but we really want to make sure that we're providing the resources and education and information that is going to directly impact your business. Those of you who are our clients know that these webinars are a part of what you receive when you decide to partner with us. We provide a variety of educational resources that will help you grow your business, including webinars such as these, blog articles, ebooks, infographics, and for clients specifically, we actually have bi-monthly Q&A sessions with Eric. They're always amazing. And if you're a client who isn't already attending them, highly recommend it. You can ask any question you want, and Eric will answer it. He's an expert, and it's a really awesome session to attend. For those of you who aren't our clients yet, please remember, like Eric said, to take advantage of our special offer for a one-on-one consultation with one of our specialists. You have until this Friday at 5 p.m. to sign up for the bonuses Eric described. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great day and stay hydrated. It's hot outside.